Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here with you guys. First, I just wanted to go through what to expect on these Zoom calls. So the first thing that I love to do when I start a call with a group of people is to do a gratitude share, just to kind of share something awesome that happened for you this week, something that you're grateful for that maybe, you know, we can talk about with other Zooms. You'll have time to share things that you've accomplished with your goals, or where you're at, or something like that. So we'll start with a gratitude share, and then we'll go and review what we've been working on throughout the week, kind of go over some of the things that we shared in our posts, and have an opportunity to touch on those just a little bit deeper with some explanations. And then when we're done with that part of it, we'll just jump right into live Q&A. So this is an opportunity for you to ask questions if you have them. If something's come up where maybe you're feeling a little stuck on your goals, you have some setbacks, need some help with breaking through that, that's a perfect time. So there's definitely a benefit in showing up live for these calls. If for some reason you miss the call live, just know that we will be posting the recordings on Fridays, and that will give you an opportunity to ask your questions there if you miss the live Q&A. So when that recording is posted, in the comment section below there would be where you ask your questions. And then Lisa and I and some of the other leaders in the group will do our best to stay on top of that throughout the week and make sure we get your questions answered. And then also on Fridays, we're going to be posting a check-in. So that'll be another point of accountability for you. So if you haven't found an accountability partner, we get to be your accountability. So you'll just kind of check in and give us a little post on your progress. Your goals might change along the way. This is a great opportunity to say, hey, I'm switching things up a little bit, and this is the path that I'm gonna go down, and this is where I could use some accountability. So Friday check-ins are just a place to share that kind of stuff. So then we're gonna go ahead and just start reviewing these, what we've been talking about all week, which is the 4 goal setting tips. So we started with, on Sunday, knowing our why. And that is so crucial when it comes to setting goals. It's important to know and go deeper of why we want what we want, and get super clear on that, because there's going to be those times where we just don't feel like doing it, or maybe we have some setbacks. And knowing our why is going to really, bring us back on track if it's deep enough. So how do we get deeper with our why? Like, let me give you an example. So say I saw that one of the gals in the group had shared that she wanted to get healthier because there is a family history of heart disease and obesity and diabetes and things that really alarmed her, and she wanted to, get healthier. So that's a pretty deep why. And just recognizing that I want to stay healthy. I want to take care of myself so that I don't face those issues that maybe some of my family members did. So thinking about that, for me, I know that keeping my inflammation under control means that I need to keep moving. Otherwise, I start to have, all kinds of issues with my joints. So, that is part of my why. So you want to just kind of pick it apart, and then also to go even deeper, think about when you have your goal, start to imagine what life would be like when you reach your goal. How would your daily life change? If maybe you have a weight loss goal, how would things be different? Imagine yourself already there and how you would feel. And how would it affect the people in your life, the people that you love, your children, your husband? When you start thinking that way, when you're setting your goals, you're deepening your why, and you're able to remind yourself of that when things start to get rough. Why am I doing this? And then you just kind of keep going. So I just wanted to kind of touch base on that and what I mean by know your why. So the next part is number 2 was to make smart and challenging goals. Obviously, we don't want our goals to be something that doesn't challenge us. Goals are supposed to stretch us and grow us, but we're going to kind of pick apart that smart piece of it. And we'll start with the S. So being specific. right? So for example, my goal was to get moving. That's where I started, but then I needed to get more specific because getting moving is very general and very broad. So for me, my specific was to start walking with Lisa every morning, and also doing strength training with Jessica. So that's where I got a little bit more specific of what I'm going to do. And I'm sure that will change along the way as I start to build my strength. I'll get even more specific, maybe get into some martial arts, or some Pilates or something like that. But for right now, my specific in my garage is doing 30 minutes in the morning of like interval training with Jessica. So that's my S. And so you're going to want to get specific with yours. What does yours look like? Start writing down those specifics. Highly recommend writing this stuff down and not just having it in your head. It makes it more real for us. And then having it be measurable. So there's lots of ways that you can measure your goals. If you have a weight loss goal, you can measure it with maybe your size. Maybe you're a size 10 and you want to be a size 6. So you're going to measure your goal. Am I making progress? Am I, are my size 10s getting loose on me? Am I almost into an 8? That's one way to measure it. The scale, some people don't like the scale and stay far away from that. But a scale is a good measurable tool. I like to use apps like Fitbit, or my Apple Watch has the Circles app on it. And I can check my watch throughout the day. Since my goal is a get moving kind of goal, I can look at those circles and see where I'm at in my percentage of getting my heart rate up. Have I walked enough steps? My goal is 12,000 a day. So I can measure my goal throughout the day by checking in there. So just find a tool that works for you. Maybe your goal is to improve your quality of sleep. There are some fantastic apps out there that actually measure your quality of sleep, where you can set your smartphone on your bed. You can set your bedtime when you want to intentionally go to bed at a certain time and wake up at a certain time, and then see your quality of sleep. So you can measure it that way. You can also incorporate essential oils to your bedtime routine, and you can measure your quality of sleep, which ones are working for you, which seem to improve your sleep, where you wake up feeling more rejuvenated and ready for your day. You can measure it that way. So that's kind of just a few examples of measurable. If you have questions about that, we'll get to that towards the end. And then achievable. Obviously, we want to set goals that that we can achieve. We want them to be challenging, but we don't want them to be so far out there that we can't even achieve them. For example, when I was a super busy mom and thought that I was going to work out at the gym every day for an hour, that wasn't really achievable for me because, Monday through Friday, because kids get sick and you can't take them to the daycare. And so I started to feel defeated, like I'm not achieving my goal because my kids are sick and I can't get to the gym. So maybe if you're in that place right now, in that season of life, your goal could be, intentional. You have intention to get to the gym, but just make sure you get exercise, somehow, some way. I ditched my hour a day at the gym and started doing dance sessions with my kids. That's how I got my cardio in. We would just set a timer and I would have the kids pick their favorite dance move. And we would all do that dance move for like 3 minutes, and then the next kid would pick a move. So you find a way to make it work, make it achievable. And then, the next one, I feel like these two kind of go hand in hand. It needs to be realistic. For me, I have joint issues, so setting a goal to run a marathon just isn't realistic for me. That one's kind of self-explanatory. So you want to make sure that you're setting goals that are challenging, but that you can actually reach them. And then time targeted. You're going to want to set some dates and declare those dates. And that is something that you definitely want to share with your accountability partner as well. When you have a goal and you want to reach something, if you don't give yourself a target, it's really hard to stay on track. Or even know what you're, where you're supposed to be. If you don't have it time targeted, then none of that other stuff, falls in place. So definitely want to make sure that your goals are SMART, right? And then we talked about picking an accountability partner. This is key. If I wake up and feel like I just don't want to work out this, that morning, I know I got Jessica coming over to my house at 5:15, and she's counting on me. So having someone that you do it with is a fantastic way to have an accountability partner. But if not, just somebody that's going to check in with you and be specific with them. What is it that you need from them? What do you want them to check in on you with? And how do you want them to hold you accountable? So find that accountability partner. If you don't have one, maybe even comment on the Friday check-in that I need an accountability partner, and then maybe somebody else in the group can be that for you. And maybe even find somebody in your area that can be your partner at the gym. Maybe you guys share recipes of eating healthy is one of your goals. Whatever that is, just find your accountability partner and get connected with them. And then believe in yourself. Your belief is so important. And I mentioned in a post earlier this week that I strongly believe, and it's kind of been my checkpoint for myself, that what you think, feel, and believe shows up as your reality. So if you can just pause and listen throughout the day, that self-talk, that chatter that you've got going on in your head, if it's not positive and it's talking you out of it, or, I can't do this, or, those busy moms, if you're stuck in this mindset that's more of a fixed mindset instead of a growth mindset, which we'll talk more about next week, then it's going to be very difficult for you to reach your goals. So you want to deepen your belief. You want to maybe even make a vision board, something that you can see that's going to deepen your belief. Whatever that goal is, put some pictures up to remind you of that goal, or some Bible verses that are going to motivate you, some motivational quotes on Post-it notes where you're going to see them. But just deepen that belief that what you are trying to achieve is achievable, and that you can do it, that you're a rock star, and that you're unstoppable, and see yourself already there. Visualize it when you deepen your belief. So that is pretty much it. I'm going to stop sharing this screen right now. Let's see, there we go. We'll go back to here. So we're just going to kind of spend some time in Q&A. If anybody has questions, needs some help going deeper with their goals, or feeling a little stuck, not sure how to reach their goal, this is the time to ask your questions, and we'll just kind of help you get through that if you have any questions. Or shares, because we kind of skipped through that gratitude share in the beginning, which I definitely want to do as we go through this. So if you are super excited about what's happening for you already in just week 1 of your goal setting, you guys can share that kind of stuff too.
How many have a lot of goals? I feel like
you were muted for a minute, Lisa, so you need to start over.
How many of you have a lot of goals? I feel like I always have a list, and it's then with that list that I kind of make a vision board. And so I have a list of my goals, and I haven't broken all of them down into all of those different areas yet. So I feel like I'm a little behind as far as that goes.
Okay.
And some of them are like things to do, like some kitchen stuff, and other is like with my health, and then some is with work. And so I feel I feel like there's a lot of goals, and I haven't really other than like this kitchen stuff, because that's super fun for me. I haven't really broken anything else down, so I can't.
What do you mean by kitchen stuff, like cooking or?
A little redoing.
Oh, gotcha.
Is that like I like building things and designing things, and so I'm doing very little, but some, and so I've had a good time already starting on that. But yes, so I have to after I started breaking things down more.
Awesome.
I did.
So you can just use the SMART
Yes.
to just kind of, break it down, go deeper. What is it that you want? And the setting time frames for the different things so that you stay on task.
That's definitely something I have to do. Yes. And now I want to look and see what Sunny says too.
Yeah, she's saying I'm focusing on daily, monthly, and yearly goals. I love that. Breaking it down. And that's that whole time thing for sure.
For my work. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they use the SMART goals format for work too. That's cool.
That's great.
Yeah. Awesome. What about you, Becca? I gotta unmute her. Okay.
Okay. Well, this is pretty brand new for me. I've always been driven by things that are put on my plate. And so I never really had any goals that I didn't have room for goals in my life. So this is really a brand new thing for me. As I shared on the Facebook post, I'm just in a stage of life I've never been in before in my entire life. And so I don't even really know how to approach this. I mean, I have daily goals, like, I spend time in the Word and I make sure that I take care of my dogs and I'm taking care of my house for the first time on a regular basis on my own. Before I always had help. And so that's a big feat for me. And I've always stayed active. So, I haven't really set goals there. It's just something that you do. But I'm looking at it more probably in regards to doTERRA and how I'm approaching my mindset. And I really want to spend some time as I'm working through this group on being specific, because I've always kind of just been, well, as time allows. It's not something I have set specific goals for. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I love that. And next week you're gonna love the mindset stuff. Yes, yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's my favorite part.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's what I've been doing all year. I worked on this for a whole year, just really breaking down mindset and the power of the mind when we work it, and challenge it and step outside of our comfort zone is incredible. So definitely for business, it will apply, but also you'll be able to get more clear on what it is that you want, because sometimes I don't want to go too far into it because we'll talk about this next week, but what I learned is that oftentimes we shake hands and agree with something being a certain way because of the way that we're raised, or a circumstance in our lives. It could go as far back to something that a teacher told us in elementary school, or another student told us, and then we decided this is something that we shake hands with and we believe. And those beliefs and those mindsets limit us from what we want, sometimes even from dreaming up what we want, because we don't feel that we are worthy or that we deserve it. And we almost talk ourselves out of it and we can't even see the possibilities because we don't feel that it's for us. That's for somebody else. Even fitness goals, I have this limited belief and I've been able to break through it, that I'm accident prone. And that if I stretch myself, I'm going to get hurt. And that's a setback. And I know what it's like to have multiple surgeries and be on the couch and not be able to do the things that I want. So that fear and that mindset alone has kept me from stretching myself. And that's not my truth. It doesn't have to be that way. I'm a healthier person now.
Right.
My body is healed, so I can exercise without having to have surgery in 2 weeks. You know, like that's not my truth.
Right.
So I love the mindset stuff. It helps us set even bigger goals and deepen our belief that we can achieve what we want, and allows us to open up to what do we want, you know? Because I believe that, you know, that God intends for us to live a full, abundant life.
Right.
And there's so many opportunities to use the gifts that He's given us and to do that. So I'm excited to do all this goal setting stuff and to look at, you know, the whole picture as our body as a whole, you know, our emotions, our, you know, the way we eat, the way we nourish our body, all of that stuff. So it's going to be fun.
Awesome.
Excited. Yeah. Yes, yes. So I don't know, is there any, we've got just the 4 of us on here, and I know Sunny said that she's got some background noise, so we won't unmute her, but does she have, I'm focusing on yes. So she agreed with the self-reflection part. Awesome. Well, I think if there's nothing else with as far as questions, I do want to make an announcement for those that will watch the recording because I do know that we've got several people in the group, and they may be one of 2 categories, or there's probably 3 different, but there's a couple different promotions going on right now with doTERRA, and throughout this program, we are definitely going to be incorporating the benefits of using some of doTERRA's products and how they can help us in all the areas of the wellness lifestyle pyramid, supporting our emotions, and, you know, some of your goals might be weight loss and needing to get motivated. There's products and stuff that we're going to be talking about. So some of you may have never used essential oils before, and at some point be interested in setting up your own wholesale account. If that's you, be sure to communicate with the person that invited you to this group, because there is a promotion right now where you could get $100 worth of essential oils for free. So we can communicate those details to you. If that's something that you're interested in, just make sure you contact whoever invited you to the group. And then we also have several people joining us who maybe have used essential oils but then stopped ordering for a while, and it's just now getting reconnected because of your goals and things that you want. And if it's been over 4 months since you've ordered, there's a promotion for you too, and you could earn a bunch of free oils just from reactivating your account. So you would need a promo code for that, and also to enroll. So please make sure you let us know so we make sure we get those promo codes to you and save you some money, get you some free oils. So that's it for now. Go ahead and post comments or questions in the comment section below the recording once that goes up. And that's it, guys. All right. Have a good night. Bye.